Hi, I want to show you a quick flip through before I pop this into the mail to my swap partner. This was my final product for the Make and Swap Junk Journal in our Facebook group, Love Paper Crafts. So I took an old book apart. I used chalkboard paint, painted the front and back. I decoupaged the spine. I added a piece of elastic and I poked two holes in the front cover and sewed a button on it and made this as a band all the way around for the closure. You reckon I took fabric and sewed a pocket, and then I glued it into the front cover, and it's just got a bunch of fun goodies in it. You'll recognize some of the signatures, some of the pages from my previous videos. Map page. This is that corner pocket I showed in one of the videos. I've gone ahead and painted on it. A book page envelope I've added with some goodies in it. So the swap was to make a junk journal from old book pages, 40 pages total. Mine's a little bit more than that, as you can see. I've chosen to leave a lot of the pages blank and use either magazine pages, as I've done here making a library pocket. And this is a fabric tag that I've made, or scrapbooking paper as the embellishment contrast. This is a magazine page. I've made a little paper bag style envelope, little paper bag, and glued it in. The library pocket made out of scrapbooking paper. I left it pretty neutral so that the person that is receiving it can decide what she'd like to do with it. I've made little envelopes, put goodies in them, and they're not actually glued to the pages. They're just clipped with an embellishment so she can move them around or use them for other things. A book page that I've doodled on, made a pocket out of, fabric tag, and then this is a used book page tag. Music pages. When I looked at it, I enjoyed it so much. I thought, well, maybe she might like to use it as a glue book or something like that. So this was fun. They were playing a Monopoly game at our local supermarket, and I took one of their game cards and made a little envelope out of it. Took a piece of a book page and just glued it down, used a little bit of washi, and I painted on it and stamped. Dictionary page tag. So the color for the journal itself is really just coming from a few pieces of washi, a little bit of paint, some fabric. Took a priority mail box that I'd received and made a tag from it. So then my swap partner can choose to either paint over the whole thing with gesso and color it herself, or use her magazine clippings, or she can do just about anything with it. It's up to her. Doodle in it. In one of the previous videos, I showed you how to make a library pocket out of a used book page. Well, here's one of those, and I've used Glimmer Mist and painted on top of it so you can see. And this is one of those little paper bags that I made out of my scrapbooking paper. If you haven't made a junk journal yet, I have to tell you, I enjoyed it a lot. It's really, really fun, and it's a great way to just use up your scraps and recycle things, and then you can make your own form. You can make your own books to fill with your own art. Instead of going to buy one. Made little coin envelopes. I made those as embellishments. That was fun. I like that. Little paper clips, and found some really neat. I love library cards, and I found some, enlarged them, and on Pinterest, and printed them on cardstock so she can journal on the back of them or use them in her next journals. This is a book page, children's book page, and paper bag that I've made a book page from, just a shopping bag, and put a fabric tag I made. This is a fun embellishment I made. I made one of those envelopes, and it's filled with, I'll show you what it's filled with in just a second, but I've taken a paper clip and I've glued it on the back and then put washi over it. And you can use it as an embellishment in any one of your books. or even if you're going to send a greeting card, it's like kind of like a fun little thing. Inside of it, I've taken a coffee lid and I've made a tag from it, and then just included some washi. So if any of you, get those coffee can or coffee style drinks that have a plastic lid on them, I usually send them all to recycling. So I'm recycling it just in this way this time. And now I'm just clipping this onto the belly band in the center of the page, but you could clip it anywhere. More of those little paper bags that I made. I made these little paper bags out of scrapbooking paper and then a priority mail tag. I took a children's book and used one of my die cuts and made a tag out of it. I liked it a lot. And it's got a slick surface, so you could, if you wanted to paint on it, obviously you'd have to either gesso it or sand it so that you could rough up the surface. But I liked the image. But you could put washi on it. You could put stickers on it. Another book page just taken and painted on and stamped. Here's another one of those library pockets that I showed you how to make in a previous video. And this time I've taken one of my die cuts, laid it down, and glimmer mist on top of it, so it made like a stencil. Paper bag pocket that I also, with a little envelope from a book page. I've actually used the paper bag as a page, and then I glued another page on top so that I could put these. It was a really cool little page I liked that I made. So it's a good way to use other papers. Magazine page, and I've made it into a pocket. This is a page from a previous video I did as well, book page, where I cut out the top and made a page, glued it, put a notch in it, as a tag in it. I made a little paper bag and glued that on top as an embellishment, and here's the side pocket. Now here you can see the twine binding. You can see the purple thread is where I've sewn the signature together, and then the twine binding is what's holding it in the book, and you can see this is the thread on top. I like that way of binding these type of junk journals. So if you fill it up and you want to still use the book, or you want to transfer it and maybe she wants to take the signature out and make it its own book, she can do that. This is kind of a fun idea. This is a paper bag that I've put into the journal. This is the paper bag itself right here, and this is the bottom of the paper bag. And I've made a page with it, right? Glued it together, and then it makes little journaling cards in here, pockets, and then I've glued some scrapbooking paper on the bottom of it because it showed the bottom of the paper bag. This is kind of fun embellishment too. You can use any kind of paper. I used my scrapbooking scraps, and I glued and taped with washi on the back. Glued it first and then taped over it a paper clip. So it can be put anywhere in the journal. So it makes it kind of fun. You can add a pop of color to a page, or you can just put it in a greeting card too. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this flip through. Here's one more library pocket with glimmer mist. I hope you enjoyed this flip through of Make and Swap It Junk Journal from our Facebook group, Love Paper Crafts. I hope you guys join us. If you haven't made a junk journal, there's no time like the present. Get yourself a couple of old books and just start. It's so simple. This is once again a fabric page that I made. Two pieces of fabric, one sewn on top of the other and then glued inside. And what makes this fun, this journal, is I wanted to add some color to it so you can see that I've paper clipped, done all these little paper clip embellishments. So they'll be fun and festive, and you can see the back part where the twine binding is, where I've taken the two signatures, wrapped the twine around. I tied it at the top and then made journaling charms out of paper. Well, I hope you join us on Love Paper Crafts, our Facebook group. Take care.